Joshua chapter 1. Chazak, be strong. Now it came about after the death of Moses, the servant of Adonai, that Adonai spoke to Joshua son of Nun, Moses' aide, saying, My servant Moses is dead. So now arise, you and all these people, cross over this Jordan to the land that I am giving to them, to Bnei Israel. Every place in which the sole of your foot treads I am giving to you, as I spoke to Moses, from the wilderness in the Lebanon to the great river, the Euphrates River, all the land of the Hittites to the great sea, toward the setting of the sun, will be your territory. No one will be able to stand before you all the days of your life, just as I was with Moses, so I will be with you. I will not fail you or forsake you. Chazak, be strong, for you will lead these people to inherit the land I swore to their fathers to give them. Only be very strong and resolute to observe diligently the Torah which Moses, my servant, commanded you. Do not turn from it to the right or to the left, so you may be successful wherever you go. This book of the Torah should not depart from your mouth. You are to meditate on it night and day, so that you may be careful to do everything written in it. For then you will make your ways prosperous, and then you will be successful. Have I not commanded you? Chazak, be strong. Do not be terrified or dismayed, for Adonai your God is with you wherever you go. Then Joshua commanded the officials of the people, saying, Go through the camp and charge the people, saying, Prepare provisions, for within 3 days you will be crossing over this Jordan to go in to possess this land, which Adonai your God is giving you to possess it. Then Joshua spoke to the Reubenites, Gadites, and the half-tribe of Manasseh, saying, Remember the word that Moses, the servant of Adonai, commanded you, saying, Adonai your God has given you rest and has assigned you to this land. Your wives, your little ones, and your cattle will remain in the land which Moses gave you beyond the Jordan, but you will cross over before your brothers armed, all the mighty men of valor, and will help them, until Adonai gives your brothers rest, as he has given you, and they also possess the land that Adonai your God is giving them. Then you will return to the land of your inheritance and possess what Moses the servant of Adonai gave you beyond the Jordan toward the sunrise. Then they answered Joshua, saying, All that you have commanded us to do we will do, and wherever you send us we will go. Just as we obeyed Moses in all things, so we will obey you. Only may Adonai your God be with you as he was with Moses. Whoever rebels against your command and does not obey your words and all that you commanded him, he will be put to death. Only be strong and courageous. Joshua chapter 2, Rahab's faith. Then Joshua son of Nun secretly sent out 2 spies from Shittim, saying, Go, explore the land, especially Jericho. So they went and came to the house of a prostitute whose name was Rahab, and lodged there. The king of Jericho was told, Some men from Israel have come here tonight to spy out the land. So the king of Jericho sent word to Rahab, saying, Bring out the men who came to you, who entered your house, for they have come to spy out all the land. But the woman who took the 2 men and hid them, and said, Yes, the men did come for me, but I didn't know where they were from. So when it was time to shut the gate at dark, the men went out, and I don't know where they went. Pursue them quickly, for you might overtake them. But she had brought them up to the roof, and hid them in the stalks of flax that she had spread out on the roof. So the men pursued them on the road to the fords of the Jordan. As soon as the pursuers had gone out, they shut the gate. Now before they lay down, she came up to them on the roof. And she said to the men, I know that Adonai has given you all the land. Dread of you has fallen on us, and all the inhabitants of the land are melting in fear before you. For we have heard how Adonai dried up the water of the sea of reeds before you when you came out of Egypt, and what you did to the 2 kings of the Amorites that were beyond the Jordan, to Sihon and Og, whom you utterly destroyed. When we heard about it, our hearts melted, and no spirit remained any more in anyone because of you. For Adonai your God, he is God, in heaven and above, and on the earth beneath. So now, please swear to me, by Adonai, since I have dealt kindly with you, that you also will deal kindly with my father's house. Give me a true sign that you will spare the lives of my father, my mother, my brothers, my sisters, and all who belong to them, and save our lives from death. The men said to her, Our life for yours. If you don't report this business of ours, then it will be when Adonai gives us the land that we will deal kindly and loyally with you. So she lowered them down by a rope through the window, for her house was in the wall. She was living in the wall. Then she said to them, Go to the hill country, lest the pursuers meet you, and hide yourselves there for 3 days, until the pursuers return. Afterward you may go your way. Then the men said to her, "We will be released from this oath that you have made us swear, unless we come into the land. You tie this line of scarlet thread in the window through which you lowered us down, and gather to yourself in your house your father, your mother, your brothers, and all your father's household. Whoever goes out of the doors of your house into the street, his blood will be on his head, and will be innocent. But whoever is with you in the house, his blood will be on our head, and if any hand is laid on him. But if you divulge this business of ours, then we will be released from your oath, and you have made us swear." So she said, "According to your word, so be it." Then she sent them away. After they had gone, she tied the scarlet cord to the window. Then they departed and came to the hill country. They stayed there for 3 days until the pursuers returned. Now the pursuers had looked for them all the road, but had not found them. Then the 2 men returned, came down from the hill country, crossed over, and came to the Jordan, son of Nun. They reported to him all that had befallen them. "Surely Adonai has given you all the land into our hands," they said to Joshua. "Indeed, all the inhabitants of the land have melted in fear before us." Joshua 3, crossing the Jordan. Then Joshua rose up early in the morning, and he and all Bani Israel set out from Shittim and came to the Jordan. They lodged there before crossing over, and now it came about after 3 days that the officials went through the camp. And they charged the people, saying, "When you see the ark of the covenant of Adonai your God, and the Levitical Kohanim carrying it, then you must set out from your place and follow it. Yet keep a distance between you in it of about 2,000 cubits by measure. Don't come near it, so you may know the way by which you should go, for you haven't traveled this way before." Then Joshua told the people, "Consecrate yourselves, for tomorrow Adonai will do wonders in your midst." Joshua spoke to the Kohanim, saying, "Take up the ark of the covenant and cross over ahead of the people." So they took up the ark of the covenant and went ahead of the people. Now Adonai said to Joshua, "This day I will begin to exalt you in the eyes of all of Israel, so they may know that just as I was with Moses, so I will be with you. You are to command the Kohanim, who are carrying the ark of the covenant, saying, when you reach the edge of the waters of the Jordan, you are to stand still in the Jordan." So Joshua said to Bani Israel, "Come here and listen to the words of Adonai your God." Joshua said, "By this you will know that the living God is among you, and that he will certainly drive out from before you the Canaanite, the Hittite, the Hivite, the Perizzite, the Girgashite, the Amorite, and the Jebusite. Behold, the ark of the covenant of the sovereign of all the earth is advancing before you into the Jordan. So now take for yourselves 12 men out of each of the tribes of Israel, 1 man for each tribe. It will come to pass when the soles of the feet of the Kohanim, who are carrying the ark of Adonai, sovereign of all the earth, rest in the waters of the Jordan. The Jordan's waters will be cut off. The waters coming downstream will stand up in one heap." So it came to pass, when the people set out from their tents to cross over the Jordan, the Kohanim were carrying the ark of the covenant ahead of the people. Now the Jordan overflows all its banks throughout the harvest season. But as soon as those who were carrying the ark came into the Jordan, and the feet of the Kohanim carrying the ark dipped in the edge of the waters which were flowing down from above stood and rose up in one heap a great distance away at Adam, the town next to Zarethan. What was the flowing down the sea of the Arabah, the salt sea, was completely cut off, so the people crossed over the opposite Jericho. Yet the Kohanim, carrying the ark of the covenant of Adonai, stood firmly on dry ground in the middle of the Jordan, and while all Israel crossed over on dry ground, until the entire nation had finished crossing over the Jordan.